Alright guys, how is everybody doing? I'll wait a few minutes. You know, you guys want to hear something funny? It is as chilly as the normal winter in Texas already here. That's right, Lori. It is kind of chilly here. I don't know if you'd be able to deal with it. But today's subject is very, very important. What I would like for you guys to do, to be honest with you, listen up, watch the video again, and just really think about what I'm about to say to you, okay? So let's get started here. Hi, my name is Daryl Phillips, owner of hrlp Gaming, and what we do here is listen to you talk. So, you know, you guys know that I come up with these subjects. I try to be as educational as I possibly can, all right? And with everything that's going on politically, and maybe you're not a political person, but I really want you to think about this. Just because you don't want to do something doesn't mean something's not going to be forced down your throat and you're not going to be ready for it, okay? And me and Dwan, when we came up with this, we told each other that we really didn't want to get into politics. But unfortunately, it's just been thrust upon me. And now Dwan is gone, and it's one of those things where I have to discuss what one I think you guys need to hear so that you guys are able to withstand. So, like, if you're not a political person, I understand that. But don't think about this as a political thing. Think about this as a right and wrong thing. There are things that are going on that are wrong, okay? And you need to know how to fight it, or at the very least have a self-defense for yourself. Thus the name Noir Apologia Gaming. Apologia meaning the Greek word for defense. All right. So the premise of today's subject is I want you guys to be able to start choosing the battles that you can fight. Now understand, you may want to get really involved, and you may want to do all the fighting, and you want to fight all the people. Can't do that. You got to choose a subject. All right. You got to choose a subject. You have to choose something. Choose a thing that maybe either you're good at, or that you may know, and then you have to educate yourself. The thought process is, it's better to be good at one thing than to be a jack of all trades, right? You want to be able to win the fight, not just be adequate at the fight, okay? Because other people watch you, right? Other people will see you and they'll be like, oh, well, and then maybe they copy you and then they lose the fight. Everyone has their own way of fighting and participating in these things. And I'm not just talking about politics. I'm actually just talking about straight up good and evil. Politicians have made certain subjects a political issue. Well, they're not a political issue. Abortion is not a political issue. It's a right and wrong thing. It's either you believe in it or you don't. Either you believe in the Bible or you don't believe in the Bible. So forth and so on. Okay? Got it? But the first thing you want to do to fight this is you want to find like-minded people. Like-minded people. Like whoever comes on here, you're finding a like-minded person. Okay? You come on here, you're watching, you're getting information, so forth and so on. And Daryl, to the best of his ability, is trying to educate you on certain subjects. All right? So that's finding the like-minded person. Okay? Not to be biased, but just come on this channel and don't go to anybody else's channel. I'm kidding. You can go to one other person's channel. Just kidding. Sheesh. And again, you cannot fight them all at once. You cannot fight all the battles at once. You may want to. And even me, as much as I'm good at this, you gotta fight. You gotta fight what you can fight. Okay. Like I'm not gonna be able to. If there is actually a civil war that starts, I'm not gonna be able to fight that. That's disappointing to me. I really would have liked to have been able to serve my country and serve and protect my friends. But me and Lori have already talked about it with Sophia. That if something ever happens, I'm gathering up all my friends that I can, and we're going to be heading out somewhere where we're all going to be safe. You know what I mean? And people are going to need hope, because there's a lot of people just don't get how serious this stuff is. This is no longer a game. Not that I think it was a game before, but this is no longer a game. You can't sit out of this fight. You just can't. But you can choose your fight. You can choose which one you're going to do. Study and practice. Why do I want you guys to participate and leave comments below? Study and practice. Have a dialogue with me. Let's talk it out. It doesn't matter if you agree with everything I say. Talk it out. It's fine to disagree. Disagreements aren't the problem. It's when you force it down someone's throat. Okay? When you force it down someone's throat, which now we're about to fight. You know what I mean? You can disagree with me, but you're not going to force it down my throat. You're not going to start name calling, that sort of thing. That's why I say be respectful. If you read it at the chat, I say be respectful all the time. The way I do this, all right, the way I study for anything, and I don't know if I've ever said this to you guys. In fact, I can tell you I probably have not. And that's my bad. That's something I need to make sure is very clear to people. All of everything that I know is based upon my vision of how I read my Bible, and that's the truth. So anything that I say, historical, scientific, whatever it is going to come from the basis of I know the truth, I know the Bible. And I'm sorry to tell you that I don't come from the Hindu religion or the Buddhist religion or Islam. I'm a Christian. So I'm going to have all my viewpoints are going to be centered. So in other words, I believe, for example, that God created the earth in 6 days, all and everything in between. He rested on the seventh day. So it's diametrically opposed to evolution and the Big Bang. I cannot believe in that. But more than that, I can tell you right now, I can show you, if anybody would ever ask me. And we'll get into it on another day on stuff like that, because I'm going to teach scientific stuff on how to defend the truth and that position. I know how to defend all these positions because I have to. You have to be able to defend not just against other people, but not against other religions and stuff, but also against people that aren't religious. Agnostics, they question everything. Skeptics question everything. So you have to have these answers to them. And saying because the Bible says so is not an answer. I'm sorry to tell you that. It's just not. Like, one question I always ask people a lot is, do you actually know that Jesus existed? So if a person like Dan Barker walked up to you and told you that there is no proof that the man Jesus ever existed, how are you going to defend against that? If you don't actually know that's true, and the only thing that comes out of your mouth is because the Bible says so, you just lost the debate, even if you're right. Why? Because you answered nothing and you look like a fool doing it. There's an actual, real answer to that question. Yes, he was real. He was a real person. even if you don't believe the Bible and that he was God and all that. He was a real man. There was a man 2,000 years ago named Jesus that was crucified on the cross. So much historical evidence, right? So the first part of this, there's three parts of this I want to discuss today, okay? Three very, very important parts on how you can do this in a very logical way. First thing is, choose the battle. You say, well, didn't you just say that? Let's say a person approaches you and they have a problem with, let's say, okay, they have a problem with your position that the United States government was based upon Christianity. What if they have a problem with that? What are you going to say to them? Fight that battle. Show them. There's so many documents. Our founding documents are so filled with God, it's not even funny. It's things like that. So choose your battle. Make sure at all times, the main thesis, the main central theme of all of these things is that you choose. You are always in control of the argument. You don't allow them control. Do not allow them to take control of the argument. Okay? The big part of that is studying your opponent. Don't just study what you believe, but study what they believe. Know your enemy. Art of war. Know thy enemy, and you will succeed in battle. Know yourself too. There's a reason why I say be understanding of yourself at the end of all my videos, all my live videos and everything else. So you study the opponent so you can see how they're gonna, so you know ahead of time. A lot of people get really shocked when they talk to me, how I can basically know what they're about to say before they even say it. I can't read minds. It'd be nice if I could, but I can't. I can't read minds. I just know the arguments. That's all. Just study and preparation. That's it. So you know yourself, know your enemy. It's like when you're in football or any sport, but I'm using football because I like this. I like football. You study the game film, as it were. Study what they believe. Study how they're going to approach it. Study the specific person. See if, I do this all the time with people. I will test, their knowledge. I do this all the time. I test how that another person approaches something. I do it all the time. It is so useful because you can sift out, you can tell how they are. Are they aggressive? Are they a person? How far are they willing to take it? Are they one of these people that will go into name calling and disrespect if they begin to feel like they're losing the argument? Are they listening to you? Let's see. What's some other things people do? Besides not listening, are they, and this is a part of not listening, because some of the reasons why people don't listen is because they're waiting for they're trying to aggrandize themselves, so they're waiting for you to stop talking so that they can talk. That's not listening. That's just not. Well, you got to know that. Know your opponent. I won't have a discussion with somebody about something, especially something that I know might be controversial, until I know how they're going to react to what I'm going to say. Because it's not worth it to get in an argument. I don't want to get in an argument. It's not an argument thing. Charlie Kirk, he debated. My dad, mom and dad, they debated people. What is that man's name? Thomas B. Warren. Now, you guys might not know that name. But Thomas B. Warren was a magnificent debater. And he was a Christian debater that debated back in the 1960s, 70s. Now, he passed away about 10, 15 years ago, maybe 20 years ago. But he was so good at setting up an argument and leaving the person nowhere to go with their argument. That's how you have to do it. You have to make sure that you know it so well that they have nowhere to go. Nowhere to go. Now, the next part of this, the second part of this, is probably the most important part, even more important than studying and everything else. Choosing the battlefield. You say, Daryl, what do you mean by that? Let me tell you a story. Recent evidence from historians, from archaeologists over there in Iraq, which is where the battle took place, Alexander the Great, when he fought the Battle of Gaugamela. Gaugamela, if you don't know anything about it, was the last battle that the Persians really fought. The last big battle that the Persians fought against Alexander the Great, right before Alexander the Great became basically king of the world. Okay? But recent evidence shows, because here's the thing, he was outnumbered like 5-6 to 1. They had a lot of troops, 1 million troops, maybe even on that battlefield. It was a lot. A lot of people don't understand how he won. It took him. It was a big question of how the heck did he win like that, and he won decisively too. What? And we know how he did it, but how did he do it? Like, we know the tactics and what he used, but they didn't really understand. Nobody understood how he could have done it. How did he pull it off? What they discovered, I love technology. So this is one of the reasons why I love technology, because they were able to do a thermal imaging of the Iraqi desert where that battle was fought, and they found that there were all sorts of things that he set up pre-battle, before the battle, to prepare for that battle. That he walked up and down that battlefield knowing where his horses needed to charge, and he knew every inch of that battlefield. That's preparation, guys. Do I expect you to be Alexander the Great? No. I demand that of myself. Not to be Alexander the Great, but I demand that. I don't like to lose. Anybody who knows me should know that. I don't like to lose. I don't just want to win. Especially depending on what particular battle I've decided to fight that day. I don't want to just win. I want to decimate the troops. I don't want to have to fight that battle again. I play this video game called Rome Total War, and I don't want to have to fight the same army again, even if I have decreased the troop numbers. I don't want to have to fight that battle again. I don't want any troops left. The way this works with arguments is this. I want you to walk away knowing you got beat, and you got beat badly. That not only do I want to win, I want to convince you to change your argument. Now, that's what Thomas B. Warren did. He didn't just win these debates. He won so decisively that he got known atheists to change their position. One of them became a Christian eventually. That's winning. That's how I want to be. Because I'm not satisfied with retreat. I'm satisfied with blocking you off, leaving you cornered, and letting you know that I'm going to beat you now. So you can surrender and just save the embarrassment, or you need to change your position. Especially on serious subjects. When it's a life and death stuff and it's about my God and about Jesus and about Christianity, you can be guaranteed from my mouth, I don't quit. You're not going to beat me like that. You say, Daryl, you're a bit serious, aren't you? Yeah. Because this stuff isn't a joke anymore. Because you're talking about some of these people that talk about some of these subjects are so vicious and nasty and evil about the way they think. You don't beat evil. You don't beat evil by coddling to it. You beat evil by beating it. Okay? Right? So that's part that's a big part. So the battlefield and preparing the battlefield, making sure that it's to your advantage and that all of their advantages are taken away. That's the way it is. That's what I want you guys to be. I want you guys to be hardened, battle-ready people, so that no matter what person wants to come up there and persecute you for your belief, that you know you're not just going to win, you're going to beat them badly. Because our enemy is evil. You're talking about people that killed Charlie Kirk. Now do you understand? These people don't need to be coddled. They need to be beat. I don't know if I could ever kill someone. I don't know if I could ever fight in a war like that. So this is my service. I want to teach people how to make the argument and then use it so eloquently that there's nothing. One of my favorite stories is when they sent the soldiers to go, or sent the authorities or whatever to go arrest Jesus, and they came back empty-handed, and they're like, wait, where's Jesus? And the only thing they could say was, never has a man so spake. Meaning, he was so eloquent in speaking that they had no choice but to listen, and they couldn't arrest him. That's how I want to make you guys. I want to make you guys like that, so that there's no debating with who is in charge of this. This is my battlefield. This is my arena. And when you come into my arena, just understand, accept it before you come in, that you've already lost before you even got here. But we were going to have the conversation anyway. And I want to show them why you lost. Some of these subjects are really deadly serious to me. They're not a joke. And so I take it that seriously. All right? And again, study, part of this, and I want to make sure it's very clear. I got my notes here, sorry. Two things I want to make sure it's very clear about this. You have to do the work. If you want the result, you have to do the work, guys. Don't be lazy. Sweat, blood, and tears. There's a lot of tears that happen. It sucks when people insult you and call you names and call you a Nazi and call you this and that. A lot of people call me names. People call me narcissist and everything. I'm not narcissistic. And usually it comes after I've beaten someone pretty badly. because they have no argument against me. There's a difference between a person who won't listen, because I listen to what everybody says. But if you don't have a logical argument against my argument, and you think I'm going to change my mind, because you haven't convinced me of anything, right? And the second thing is, part of this preparedness of your battlefield, think through every aspect of the tactics, of their tactics. So, in ancient warfare, and in modern warfare too, I'm not going to say, but I know more about ancient warfare than modern warfare, but it's the same sort of tactics that are used, just different ways. But in ancient warfare, you have to know what troops can stop what troops. So, for example, a phalanx or a spear unit is going to be great against horses, but terrible against archers, right? They're great defensive troops, less so with offense. So, knowing these things, so you know where to place them on the battlefield. Okay. I'm going to tell you guys a story after I'm done with this, because I want you guys to understand, where did I get this passion? Why is this so important to me? And I want you guys to understand this. But let's continue. But you think through their tactics, know your enemy. That's why knowing your enemy, it's so vital. Know their tactics, know how they act, know how to get into their head. It takes practice. You're going to lose. First time you get embarrassed, you'll want to win. And I hope you're not the type of person that you want to quit. Don't quit. The third thing I want to discuss real quick, third part of this, is choose the time. Timing is everything. All of these things combined, you're going to win. But the time. Do you think it's proper to bring up at a funeral something about the person that has just passed away? Do you think you might want to wait a little bit? Bad timing. And what about at dinner with the family? Depends. So you have Uncle Bob, who's always, who you think can be convinced to come your way, but you never get to see Uncle Bob. And the only time you get to see Uncle Bob is during Thanksgiving or during Christmas or something. Gotta talk to Uncle Bob. Is he gonna ruin Thanksgiving or Christmas? Hopefully not. Maybe you pull him aside and you have a conversation with him. Timing. In a cavalry charge, when you're doing the charge, when you hit those soldiers, the impact of that has to be perfect. Because you can call what I call an insta-rout. The idea that the soldiers will give up immediately, they'll rout off the battlefield. There are certain things, certain little keys I'm going to show you guys over time, where in an argument, where I can give you things, tools to use, where if you time it right, and you hit them with it, they give up. It's it. Trust me on this. It's quite wonderful to watch a person go, after being so confident about how right they are. I love it. But it's not about loving it. It's about doing what's right. It's about being effective. As a Christian, you're supposed to be a soldier for God. Not a physical soldier. You're supposed to. It's not just the preacher's job to be the one to give the example. You must be the example. But let me tell you guys a story about me. And it's about the time I met Dwan. In fact, it was the time I met Dwan. When I met Dwan, I had been studying for about a year and a half. I had gotten married. I was married to Jennifer about a year and a half when I met Dwan. And ever since the moment I had gotten married, the moment I met Dwan, I had been studying my Bible every single day. Every single day. So I had all these notes in my Bible. Like my dad. In fact, my dad was quite impressed by the fact that I had so many notes. My mom was smiling. It was pretty cool. It felt good because it showed dedication and practice, and I had never showed that before. But I discovered something about myself that I did not know right around the time I met Dwan. We started having these Bible studies yes it is, Lori, absolutely, 100%. Lori is absolutely dead on. Lori is absolutely dead on. Good job, girl. Let me type something in response. So, whoops. What is going on here? I don't know why it's doing that. Okay, it wasn't allowing me to send that message first. Anyway, so what I discovered is Daryl had the ability to teach. I never even considered it. In fact, I kind of got mad at people because they would ask me, why don't I be like my dad? I'm not a preacher. I fell in love with it because I realized for the first time I had a talent I had not known about. I never considered teaching. It feels so good to teach someone. You know, Lori, speaking of Lori has told me some things, given me some compliments that it feels, Lori doesn't understand how good it feels to hear from someone certain things. It feels so good to me. It feels so good to me when Lori tells me things like that. She talks about my honesty and about these things, and my forgivingness of people. Because I do question myself sometimes. And that's why you can't do this alone. That's why I tell you guys to carry your ingredients and follow your steps. Because I didn't know I could teach. And I met Dwan. And we started having Bible studies. And he ended up being converted. And another guy by the name of Dustin, he was converted too. The day after or 3 days after my birthday, he was converted. I say that to say this. Ever since the day I realized I could teach like that, my life has never been the same again. I never, even when I tried to go back to evil, and I gave up, and I had all the problems I did with my ex-wife and the fighting with my mom, and even when I was in my darkest days, I could never fully go back to darkness. Not fully. It was a weird position I was in because I knew the truth too much. It's funny. You wouldn't think that knowing the truth would be a bad thing. Well, it kind of was. In this way, I'm kidding. I'm being lighthearted. It was bad because I didn't want to be good. I was angry. I was angry with God, and I was angry with myself, and I was angry with my mom, and I was angry with And so I couldn't fully go backwards. It kind of sucks. But I'm glad. I'm glad that I know the truth. What a useful and awesome thing to have in your pocket, where I can edit. Will now I have abilities maybe that other people don't have. You know, I have my own talents. So I'm not saying that you guys have to be like that. What I'm saying to you is these tools that I want to give you, that I'm trying to give you, can make you better than you are. Not just carrying your ingredients, not just following your steps. These things I'm saying, all of the things, when you combine it, if you carry your ingredients and follow your steps, you're going to realize one thing. You cover all of this stuff by doing it. You don't believe me? Let me show you. I said, choose the battle, right? Question, because I always ask this question. Want to? Do you? Okay. Do you want to win the argument? You want to win the battle you're fighting? Yes, of course you do. Well, we know that venting, you have to vent out, you have to get out of your chest your idea of how to do so. You have to get that advice on how to do so. Taking advice. You have to think about the battle plan. And of course, you know you're not alone. An army of one, really. So you're an army of how many ever people you have. There's your 5 ingredients. There's your 5 steps. When you do study, when you do learning, you're educating yourself. You're learning not just about the now, but you have to learn about what other people have done to be successful. Correct? You're trying to be the best person you're trying to be, okay, to fight that particular battle. You just covered both of those. In fact, you probably could cover almost all the steps just in that. Because you have to do things inside your box, you have to do things outside your box. And you have to look at the game film, fifth step. But cleaning your house and filling your house, you have to clean your house. You have to get rid of the bad information and replace it with good information. Thank you, Lori. You have no idea how much that means. Thank you. Thank you, Lori. Really. But if you guys understand what I'm saying, I don't expect you guys to be me and be able to, you don't have to start your YouTube channel or anything like that. What I do expect is that you guys give an effort in trying to learn it, to learn how to fight whatever battle you choose to fight. Whatever is important to you, whatever is good, weighs heavily on your heart. So if it's men playing in women's sports, or if it's abortion, or if it's Christianity in general, whether there's a God, there's all the subjects. Fight your battle and do these. If you can do these things, you're going to win. You'll make a difference. I don't know most days. I don't know how to get through to everyone all the time. It's very frustrating. It's very frustrating to lose a friend like Denise, because she just doesn't understand, and that she got scared of the truth, and she fled, because what she saw in the mirror she didn't recognize. It sucks. It sucks to lose a friend like that. But I'm not going to bend the truth just to keep a friend. I have to be Daryl Phillips, and you have to be Lori Cooper, or Sophia Quinones, or whatever. There's a hard fight going on. A hard fight. It's so serious, y'all. Sometimes I feel like I don't know the future, and God, what's the point? Sometimes it feels so dark. And the truth of the matter is, I feel like that because I feel burdened. But then, you know what makes me feel better about that? Is it's only a moment. It's only a moment. It never lasts forever. Are y'all reading what Lori's saying? Read what she's saying. I wake up every day, y'all. And I try to, like I just, last weekend, I took a bunch of pictures. I went to Stillwater, took a bunch of pictures of the beautiful leaves in the fall weather, and they have a bridge down there that's a drawbridge kind of thing where it goes up and down to let the boats through. I grew up all my life. That's where we saw the fireworks. They used to be where the fireworks were. We would go sit and watch them. And keep in mind that we lived basically about 45-hour drive away. We lived in Luck. But being there last weekend, being there because I wanted to take pictures, and I wanted to make what God already made beautiful, make it and show through a picture the beauty of God's work. Use it as a way to have a background picture so that I can give you guys good positive messages. It's nice to have my little army of people that says things like Lori's saying to me. Lori and I, we do have our differences sometimes, but they're so insignificant compared to our fight for good that it doesn't matter to us. Lori will always be my friend. Until the day she dies. Or until the day I die. People like Lori and Tanya too. But understand that whenever I debate somebody or I talk to somebody about these things, that my viewpoint, okay, so you have to have this attitude. It takes time to get this kind of attitude. But when you walk into a room, the viewpoint is this. This is my world. Okay? This is my battlefield. When you step on my battlefield, just know this now. I control it. All of it. That's the attitude. You don't ever walk onto a battlefield and show your weaknesses to your enemy. Because all they do, especially some of these people that are around now, they will feed on it like a vampire. No. You go in there with confidence. You go in there with love in your heart. You go in there with God in your presence. And God does not allow fear in your heart. Just know that now. Now I'm deadly serious to you guys. You're talking to a guy with bipolar disorder and PTSD that was so scared of that damn camera that I could do anything when people were around. I was still afraid. I have changed that so much now. Basically because I had no choice or the business would be done. Because I didn't want to be the face of this thing. But you know what? It doesn't matter. Want to. I wanted this to be successful because I wanted to help people. I wanted to help people through their problems, and I wanted to change people's lives like Charlie Kirk did. And he took a bullet in the neck. I'll never be like that. You know why? Because Charlie Kirk was great, and I'm just Daryl. A lot of people go, well, you're arrogant. You don't even know me. Not arrogant. I'm very confident now. You have no idea where my self-esteem and how much I don't let people talk to me like that anymore. Because you have no idea how much I was bullied. My confidence comes from the fact that I can prove to you what I say to you. A lot of people get jealous of that. Of people that have stuff. A lot of what you see that goes on in the news and stuff is jealousy. You know why people hate rich people? Because they're rich. That's such a selfish point of view. So I hope that you guys learned a lot tonight, or some stuff tonight. We're only beginning these conversations. I'm going to be showing you guys so much stuff. I had to get some B-roll, like I said, last weekend, and I continue to get pictures. And I'm gonna create some really beautiful stuff for you guys. I'm gonna create some things through Photoshop that I can put in the community notes on my YouTube channel and on Facebook and on Threads and things. But you guys mean so much to me. Do not ever forget that. I might get mad and angry about something. Let me get mad and angry about stuff. If I'm in the wrong, eventually I will apologize for something I may say or something. But my people, my friends, they mean so much to me. You guys mean so much to me. Lori, you mean so much to me. Tanya, you mean so much to me. It's more than words can even say. So let me let you guys go for the night. And I want you to think about it. Go back and watch this video again. And then watch it again and again until you get through your head. I said this in the most simplistic way, but we're going to really deep dive in some of these things. Because I want to show you guys some really cool things. One of the things I'm going to be doing with video gaming, sorry, I have a cold. I'm stopped up. I'm going to be doing with video games, I'm going to show you guys physically how I think about tactics. I'm going to show you guys through the video gaming tactics. I missed that too, Lori. Maybe you can come up here and visit us. But anyway, I'm going to show you guys through video gaming tactics, how to think about it, how to think about the tactics, how to think about the way you do it militarily, and how I can get you guys to win every time. So I got some work to do in Lightroom. I'm still working on those pictures that I took from last week, and I'm working on color grading and things like that. I'm going to create some things. And I hope that you learned stuff tonight. I really do. Just remember that I can love you guys. I care about you guys. Be safe when you travel. Be safe when you get there. Be aware of your surroundings. Be understanding of one another, not just from your perspective, but from theirs. Be understanding of yourself. Because you're not God. You do have limits. Remember that life is fleeting. You're not promised your next breath. So take now, go outside your box. learn something new, and you never know what you may learn about yourself. And until next time, may the Lord light guide you in all things. Goodbye.